Hello YouTube, I'm Ivan again, and welcome back to the Native Nomadic channel. And behind me is the Snake Creek area just below the Bear Paw Mountains. And today we'll be exploring the Chief Joseph battlefield and where the Nez Perce made their last stand, and also where Chief Joseph was able to negotiate his safety for his people. Ooh, all right, let's take one of these.
Trail guides, nice.
Trail guides. Oh, I'm taking two.
Nice.
Bear Paw battlefield. Now, looks like here's a memorial. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever. Cool. Looks like all the names of the cavalry that died in the battle. Oh, I like this. Look, here's a map of the entire route that was taken, and just from fighting fire on the Rocky Mountain front for the last 18-20 years. I remember seeing a marker there on the Lolo Pass, as well as through here on the Bitterroot Forest. And you see they came all the way down here into Idaho through Yellowstone National Park, stopped and checked out Billings real quick, re-upped in Lewistown, and right there's Fort Belknap, Rocky Boy Indian Reservation, and we're right there. Start on the trail. Well, the loop trail is over a mile. It's like over 80 degrees. I think it's going to get close to 90 today, so this breeze should feel pretty good. So this right here is the Snake Creek, and it looked like it was a good spot to have their camp. Fresh water, and I guess they had a lot of good deer and things like that. They could re-up on some food for their last push into Canada. The Nez Perce encampment. Oh, nice picture. Yeah, this is where the encampment was. Nice little flat area. So see this marker right here. I don't know if the camera could pick that up, but it says John Dog Teepee. Might have been a teepee location. You see this marker right here, we're just walking by. And it says Chief Joseph's teepee. It's right here in this location. Right next to these big rocks. pretty cool. So I just turned around from Chief Joseph's teepee here, and I just found, or see their pits that they had to dig. Their rifle pits. That's pretty good cover. That's pretty deep. This type of ground, beginning October. Yeah, it was cold. I took a lot of effort to dig that pit that deep in that amount of time. Pretty impressive. Yeah, they did not want to surrender. In fact, they kind of knew that this was like enemy territory. And so they were just taking the chance on making a move to Canada without knowing they were going to get attacked by other tribes or anything like that, you know. But yeah, to go all that way and then, yeah, to end it all right here. Oh, okay. Chief Looking Glass. His teepee is right here. Here's a never go. Never go hunt. Fork in the trail right here, and the spur trail is what we're gonna take. And there's rifle pits, and they call it Death's Point. So I think this is kind of where the coulee where everyone walked up to. No place to hide. I think this might have been the coulee that everybody ran up to when it was almost over. Yeah, Death's Point and rifle pits. Yeah, so this is kind of where everyone ran to. Must have been like the contingency route when things got bad. I don't know if you can notice it down there, but there's a big rifle pit down in there. Let's move on. Rifle pit. Rifle pit large. Yeah. Death's Point. A red rock outcropping. Nez Perce rifle pits. And it is a federal offense to deface archaeological features. Yes. So what I've always liked about the story of this Nez Perce escape was just the fact that they took their women and children and they were able to evade all types of capture. And I think it took like 3 cavalries, 3 generals to finally catch up to them and cut them off. But yeah, like I mentioned before, just you ran into the Nez Perce Trail a few times, and yeah, just the terrain that they've trekked through in that area, you know, with kids and elders, and just able to make that push, you know, basically retracing the footsteps of their last stand after that. Geez, that long chase, man. I think it was 1,100, 1,200 miles. Yeah, on foot, horseback. You know, their warriors were elite. So we're approaching this point with these red rocks poke out of the hillside here. And I believe they call it Death Point, because I believe a lot of them made their last stand here. This might have been like the farthest they could reach as far as the trail goes. All right, back to where we came, off Spur Trail, and go back onto the Loop Trail. It's a survey station. Oh, we're Looking Glass. Where Looking Glass's demise was. And Chief Olcott fell here. Yeah, so according to the story, Looking Glass was probably looking in that direction, I assume, where the soldiers were coming. And I guess he was trying to make some determinations on what to do. And it must have been either a barrage of shots or a crack shot, and he dropped right there, and I believe he was one of the first ones to go. So So here is where, according to this, there was hundreds of soldiers charging, stampeding down this hill here. And then, yeah, the warriors, less than 100, stopped them cold, met them head on. And it looked like it was a pretty dirty battle. Rifles, and then eventually it led to hand-to-hand. But after that, it was pretty much a siege because the Nez Perce were pinned down. So reading from this brochure, at this point, this marker 8 is on the slope. In this drainage here, soldiers laid dead or wounded as the evening fell, and those who fell into the hands of the hostiles were not bothered otherwise than to be stripped of arms and ammunition. They even gave some of the wounded water after the night fell. Another account recalls a warrior giving a blanket to a wounded soldier. Man, that's crazy generosity in a time like that. So right here at this point 9, I guess this is where they try to unload their Hotchkiss Gatling gun. And the Nez Perce were really good shots, and they were directing their fire from across the coulee over there and down below, and they couldn't let their Gatling gun get set up. And so I guess their gunners took a lot of casualties and had to push them back. So they couldn't get their Gatling gun, their machine gun, up and running. And that's kind of what really stopped their advancement, the cavalry's advancement, any further than to this point. So about 70 yards from where they stopped the Gatling gun, this is where they buried their soldiers in a mass grave. They end up moving them to the Little Bighorn battlefield area. But yeah, if you could see the depression in the ground there, looks like it could be 5 feet, 6 feet deep to, looks like 20 yards long. Chief Joseph's actual spot of surrender. That's the pin right there. Right at these rocks here. He met with Colonel Miles and made the negotiations for his people.